Thank you, Airjet, and thank you, World Leader Summit, for being the amazing world changer that you are, enhancing our global community by bringing together so many entrepreneurial, like minded individuals. It is by you and your efforts that this world will be a better place. Now, I would venture to say that everyone here has probably put together a jigsaw puzzle, right? And so when you went to purchase that jigsaw puzzle, you found a beautiful scenery. You found a picture that you loved, and then it's what, 1,000 pieces in some cases, 500,000 pieces. You can't wait to get home and dump all of those pieces out on a card table that you got specifically for this jigsaw puzzle, right? And you dump all those pieces, and wow, what an intimidating sight, right? It's pretty excuse me, it's pretty overwhelming to see all of those pieces there, but yet you follow through. You bit by bit put that puzzle together, and you're so proud of it. It is so beautiful when it's finished, to the extent that you may even do it again, right? Well, that is how it feels to a book writer, an author, someone who is venturing on this journey of creating this published piece of art. My name is Terry Liggins, and as a ghostwriter of 22 years, and a ghostwriter, no, I don't write about Casper and haunted houses and such, but I write for writers. And I can tell you over the years of having done this that it is such a daunting task for an individual starting out. Just like when you see all those 1,000 pieces out there, they can't even imagine how is this all going to come together in a finished product. Well, I'm just going to share with you today a few steps in the limited time that I have. I just want to share a few steps that will help you see it to the end, see this project to the end, and make it a bestseller, even. And so, first and foremost, pardon me, first and foremost, you have to have a why. You must determine your why. I expect that of anyone that I work with because I've seen the difference when someone does not determine what it is and why it is they are writing this book. They sometimes don't finish the book. All right. So when you know what will happen, and I say don't even look at what will happen when you do write this book, think about what would happen to the individuals if you don't write it. All right, there are people out there waiting for your story. You were born on purpose, with a purpose, for this purpose of writing your story. It doesn't matter if that same situation has been covered thousands of times by other people. This one is yours. It's authentic. It happened to you in the way that it did. And there are people that are called to you to hear your story and to help them through similar challenges that they may be experiencing. So you must determine your why for writing this book and for helping the individuals that you're called to help. And once you do that, you then are creating um, their way out of their situation. You're creating a journey for them with your own testimony. And so now keep in mind when you write this book, this may not be the perfect book, especially if it's your first book. All right, it may not be the perfect one. Now, I'm a stickler for perfection to a fault sometimes. And so when I'm editing a book for someone, I will review it again and again and again. And I do tell my writers that they have to have someone else look at it again. You cannot have too many eyes on this book. Never be the only one writing it, editing it, and proofreading it. No, no, no. So even if I'm ghostwriting the project or if I'm editing the project, I will never be the one proofreading it. So let's get that straight right away. Okay, there are many, many stages of this, and I have information that will help you learn all the various stages. But another of the points that I want to just leave with you today is that you want to start with the beginning in or the end in mind. Okay, you want to start with your ending in mind when you start this whole process. And I can tell you some very good reasons why you want to do that. Again, I've seen it all over the 22 years of doing this. And so when you start with things like what's in it for your reader, right? The marketing of your book, how it's going to be marketed, and how it's going to look. When you start with all of those things and work through the strategies of those things, you can expect to have a very well polished book and a bestseller. Starting right, let's start with uh, what's in it for me. You've all heard that, you probably have heard that or seen that acronym, right? WIIFM. What's in it for me? What is in it for me? And if you're not writing to that, then you're not going to reach that person to the point where they're even going to buy the book, let alone read it. Okay. So you have a hook, want it. So when you're writing your book, when you come up with your topic, your points to cover, when you want to reach the reader with what they want. Later, you can give them what they need in the book, but give them what they want up front. All right, and that's the first tip I'm going to give you there. Another one is in marketing. Oh my goodness, you have to start marketing in the beginning. Why? Because two things will happen if you don't. If you wait till the very end, you'll run out of money, you'll run out of steam. All right, so market from the beginning. Put all your efforts into that. You want to find your target market. And if you say that your book is for everyone, then your book is for no one. Trust me on that one. So find your target market. Don't worry, you're not leaving other people out. In fact, by you honing in on the perfect reader for your book, you will be surprised at how your audience will grow exponentially. All right, you want to talk to your reader as though you're sitting right next to them on a sofa. All right, that's how personable your book needs to be to that one person, to that main target. I call it your A market. All right, when you have your A market, then you can worry about the B market, C, and everything, and how it spreads out that way. But market to the person who is your main individuals who would be the ones who would benefit from your topic. Right? And then you want to also have a title, a cover, um, that will just knock the socks off of someone. You have only 4 seconds to impress that person before they will open your book and buy it. Now, when you go to, remember back in the day when there were bookstores everywhere, there are still some around, and I would implore you to go to bookstores and just really pick up books and look at them, get a feel for them, look at the inside copyright page, the dedication page, all these things. When you're getting ready to write a book, look at so many other books and see how they're done. And so when you're in a bookstore, you pick up a book. You have 4 seconds, right? You're looking at the front of the book. What do you do next? Generally, you turn the book over and then you read the back of the book. And then you have 9 seconds to be impressive to that reader who's now looking at the back of your book. Then and only then will they open your book. All right, so your topic, your title, your cover, they have to be on point, and I help individuals do that very thing. And in fact, I have a workshop. Let me just say that I have a workshop that is held quarterly, because I found that as a ghostwriter, I can only help so many people in such a period of time. There's only so many hours in the day that I can do this writing. And so by becoming a book writing coach, I can then help more individuals in this set time. And my workshops are held January, April, July, and October of each year. And you can go to terryliggins.com. That's TERRI liggins.com, and information will be there about the quarterly book workshops. And in those workshops, I help the individuals get to that perfect looking cover. That is the one time that you want to judge a book by its cover, right? And so that is something we do in the beginning. You have to do it in the beginning. Number one, it'll help inspire you to continue and complete the book, but it will help you to focus on what the reader wants to get from you. Unfortunately, it's not always what you want. Now, once you've put many books out there and your name is, big in that space, then maybe you can really start putting what you want, and maybe you can have your name larger than the title of your book. You see some authors out there who their name is like this and then the rest is like that. They can do that. But in the beginning, you want to really reach the reader and what they want. And you do that with the color scheme of your book, the title, everything. And your book, and talking about marketing, your book is your brand. So if you have a business already, you want to brand your book to match the business. Or if you don't have a business, you have this book that becomes your brand. Everything from, like I said, the color scheme that you have on your book, if it matches the logo of your business, if you have a business, all of that is so very important. So we do that all in the beginning. And then you want to bring exposure to your book. And that is done by various ways. Of course, we have social media nowadays to do that. But don't forget and don't negate offline. There are so many groups, organizations, that you may already belong to, or that you may want to join, so that you have a warm market and a hot market when it comes time to produce your book and get your book out there. Now, you want to always remain authentic. I can't even express that enough. Remain authentic. So don't join a group just to push your book. Don't call on people just to sell them your book. No, you want to present it always, but do it in a way that really shares your testimony, that tells about you, what it is that you're on this earth to help someone with, and know that it may not be that person's cup of tea, and that's okay. You're sharing your information and you're moving on. You share it and you move on, and you build your audience, and you build them in the most authentic way, giving them lots and lots of value. And then that speaks volumes later when it is time to write your book. Now, building the audience, that's a that we talk about that in the workshop as well. That's a little tougher. For instance, I ghost wrote a book, memoirs for a retired United States senator, and as you can imagine, his warm market is pretty large, right? So when it came time for the exposure of his book, it was a lot easier than maybe someone who is just your typical person that has a 9-to-5 job, or is starting out as an entrepreneur, has a business, whatever the case. There's a lot of work that goes into building your audience, but it is not impossible to do so. But always do it in the most authentic way. So anyway, I'm running out of time here, but I just want to share a few other things that we talk about in the workshop, because there's just so many strategies that have to go into building this book. And one of the things I do share is all of the stages to become an author. There are many stages, not just the writing part. The writing part is just so small when you look at the full picture. But anyway, from A to Z, all the way from your copyright page, dedication page, all the way to the author's bio at the very end, and all that content in the middle. That is what I help individuals create, and do it in a very cohesive manner. That is where you have to know how to put your chapters together. We talk about that, and building an outline to make it very easy, step by step, very, very easy to come up with your thought process for each chapter, and your your chapter titles, all of those that wrap into the topic of the whole book. But it's just a lot, and there's the essentials. And you know what? Here's a little trick, a little trick that I help people in the workshop is to, when building their book, think about the rooms of a house. You have the rooms like the living room, that's the comfort room. And again, I mentioned how you have to speak with that writer as though you're sitting on the sofa with them side by side. And then you have, like the bathroom. Nowadays, every house has a bathroom indoors, right? Two and three in some cases. And the bathroom is an essential room of the house. Well, there are those essential pages of the book. We call it the front matter. You have the front matter and you have the back matter, and those are essentials that must be there. The copyright page must be there. The dedication page and appreciation page, you don't have to have a dedication. You should have appreciation. Every book should have that. Not every book has a table of contents, but depending on the type of book you have, you should have a table of contents. The bibliography, the indexing, all of those things, those are essentials, and you need to know how to do it. Well, again, I'm running out of time here, so I just want to let you know, if you do feel that you need help writing your book, we help you get unstuck and get it done in record time. I have some real tricks to help you get that content done really fast. In a weekend, even. You can finish your book in a weekend, and then get it ready for publishing. And then we have all the little strategies that we help you with in publishing your book. But if you are interested in that, again, my workshop is held quarterly, and you can find information about that in on my site, terryliggins.com. That's TerryLiggins.com. Maya Angelou says that there is no greater agony than an untold story on the inside. So if you have a story on the inside of you, don't let it stay there. Bring it out. Let it out. There's a world out there waiting to hear your story, just as important as it is for you to help the world. Thank you very much. Be blessed.